At 6 months old, the neurologist told us that Lydia had a stroke in the left hemisphere of her brain and a diagnosis of cerebral palsy, which affected the motor coordination, the sensory experience for her right side of her body. He said she would probably not walk, most likely would never talk. But you know, the brain has a lot of plasticity at this early age. We support her development by providing her with opportunities that every other child is provided with, making sure she's very involved in the community. We spend a lot of time at the parks, a lot of time at the library. I kind of decided that what I was going to do is I was going to immerse her and surround her with as many typical peers as I could to give her the model and the motivation to be just like every other kid. And she has followed suit with my plan and has kept up with all her peers. She does things a little differently for herself and she makes up her own little modifications, but she doesn't miss out on anything. More than anything, I want Lydia to be comfortable in her life with her peers and her friends and her family. And so from the very beginning, I started looking at community activities that she could be involved in and be with typical peers and learn from typical peers. So at 4 months old, I had her going to the library for baby rhyme time. And we would be in a room with a bunch of babies, clapping our hands and singing songs. And then I started taking her to the preschool story times. So she was with older kids in the library, sitting on the carpet square, clapping her hands, listening to the story. And she's such an observer that she really has taken the reins. I kind of put her on a path and then she goes running down it. So at the library, she would watch the other kids and want to do what they were doing. And that was the most important thing to me, that she have the motivation and the perseverance to keep up with her peers. And she's done that. And her being in a classroom full of children with all sorts of abilities has just enhanced that experience. So starting at the parks and the libraries and then now being in school, she doesn't know she's any different, and 99.9% of people in public don't know she's any different either until I share with them. And I share a lot. I'm an open book in public. People ask me, or kids ask, because she wears a brace on her hand and she wears a brace on her foot. So in that way, there's a visual for people to see, oh, what's happening there? And when I get the kind of quizzical looks, I'm happy to share. She had a stroke. It's harder for her to use her right arm and her right leg, and these supports really help her to straighten out her muscles and allow her to move her body the same way that you move your body. And the response I get from kids is like, oh, okay. They think she got hurt or there's some sort of injury because she has a brace on her arm. But when I tell her it's just like to help her, they pay no mind to it. And I like that curiosity, and I always thank people. Thank you for asking about that, because I'm glad that you know about it. And I'm gonna teach Lydia that throughout her life, to share her story and to tell people what is going on with her and her body and to feel empowered in that. She's a child that needs more support, but I see her running right along with all her peers in every way. I see her playing sports. I see her in a typical classroom. I see her sharing her experience with other kids, and if she needs a modification, a different type of pencil grip, or help with scissoring or things like that, I see that as just a small thing. I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference in her life. And I think it will be great for not only her to be at peace with needing those supports, but I think it will be great to show her peers that it's okay for different people to need different things to succeed. The fact that she's been included starting at really 6 months old at the point of diagnosis has been profoundly impactful in her success.